Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. Today I want to talk to you about Illumina. As you recollect, Illumina had a antitrust ruling against them in the European Union. They won the antitrust litigation in the US, but the FTC is going to challenge them again. So in this backdrop, I have a few thoughts to share. This is a very short video. Please hang on. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. You recollect my earlier video about Illumina losing the antitrust case in Europe. Now we have some experts weighing in, and it seems that Illumina will be better off letting go of Grail. But in this tight market, any deal to offload Grail may not sufficiently recoup the investment price. At least that's my initial gut feel. I have read up on JP Morgan analyst Julia Quinn, who says that Grail has been significantly dilutive to Illumina's valuation, given the heavy cash burn and the lack of visibility of commercial potential in light of intensifying competition. According to Julia, Julia thinks that investors appear to favor Illumina sticking to its core DNA sequencer business because the company's stock ticked up Tuesday when the European Commission decision was announced. The reason Illumina is keen about Grail is that in Grail's cancer test, Illumina sees a market that will explode over the longer term. As per Julia, finding a Grail buyer or investor in this cash-strapped tight money market will be very tough. In a regulatory filing on Tuesday, Illumina said divesting Grail might happen on terms that are materially worse than the terms on which Illumina acquired Grail. In 2020, if you recollect, Illumina had tried to buy Pacific Biosciences, but changed course after the FTC objected. Unlike the wisdom they had at that time, Illumina went ahead and acquired Grail last year despite ongoing antitrust challenges. Illumina has put aside $453 million in potential regulatory fines for failing to wait for the OK from antitrust authorities. Now, Illumina has a problem in hand and is likely to lose money if it tries to fight FTC appeal and EU authorities in a long-drawn battle with no guarantee of success. The battle in EU at least will last for until 2025 if Illumina were to choose to fight the European antitrust authorities. And during this time, I think Grail will likely be losing competitive advantage and hence be less useful to Illumina. We must remember that when these kind of activities are going on in the background, there's a bit of a chilling effect on the management and their decisions get influenced and they become more defensive. Meanwhile, rest of the companies around the world are still working hard to make progress. So it stands to reason that Grail will potentially lose competitive advantage. It's not good for Grail, it's not good for Illumina in my personal opinion. Illumina will also lose money if it tries to sell Grail in this tight market as liquidity is tight, interest rates are high. In hindsight, this seems to be a case of bad management. I would say that considering that Grail was spun off in the first place was a bad decision number one. And then Grail was acquired despite EU antitrust objection was bad decision number two. The $453 million kept aside for regulatory fines is still a shareholder money, but may provide a little cushion to cover part of the losses from a hasty divestment of Grail. In my opinion, I think the $453 million have already been priced into the stock. So let's hope someone wants to acquire Grail and they won't attract antitrust action when they try to do so. And out of curiosity, I would like to check the price chart and see what it looks like. Let's go to the TradingView platform and see what's happening with the price chart for Illumina. Here we are in our TradingView platform looking at the Illumina chart. Each of these candles is a one-day candle. And as we can see, today it's around 9 a.m. in the morning. And we are looking at the candle from yesterday. And yesterday saw the second consecutive day of improvement in the share price for Illumina. And our next resistance is going to be at 210.87. And I'm thinking that there's a good chance that we might test that resistance today because pre-market we are already up 0.82% and we are at 209. And when I look at the momentum also, it's at average. So there's a good chance it can go above average because fundamentally Illumina is a very strong company. It has got a great range of offerings which scales right from the lowest category of user to the highest sophisticated user and across the price range. and its business model is pretty good. Just like hardware companies, like printer making companies, you have consumables as well as you have the actual hardware, and you have annual support contracts and maintenance contracts. But apart from that, it has got increasing internal market, in the sense all its existing customers become potential customers for upgrades. So it's a very, very strong entrenched business model. And I think Illumina, if it focuses on its gene sequencing machines and related hardware and consumables and makes them better and better, it would do very well, given the exploding size of the genomics medicine market, and where most of the companies which are creating genomic therapies are going to want DNA sequencing hardware. With that said, let's look at this chart much closely, and I'm going to zoom out to take a long-term view. So at this point of time, I would take this as the high, 525.78 as the high point for Illumina share prices. Considering that, given the overall market has fallen, Illumina has fallen significantly, and it's now almost down. Let us put this widget out here and see where it is. I'm going to drag this down and take it to the latest price, which is 207.31. So I'm stopping here. So we are down 60.61% for Illumina. And I think Illumina is on a very, very strong wicket, because it has got a proven product, and genomics industry is here to stay. And everyone who is in genomic industry wants to have a genomic sequencing device. Illumina is a market leader. And if I was to look at a similar company, let us go to established technology and look at a company like Apple, right? So if you look at Apple, they have not fallen much from their peak. Whereas, let's also look at a company like IBM, for that matter, which is again a proven company. And I'm going to look at how much they have fallen from their peak. So this is their peak. And today they are at 129.47. So let us go there, 129.52. So IBM has fallen only 26% from its peak. So if you look at all those things and come back to look at what is happening with Illumina, I think Illumina has dropped much more than most companies would have done, even despite the fact that it's in genomics. So I think there's a lot of upward pressure that's going to build up for Illumina once they make a clear decision around Grail, and that is internalized by the market. It's likely to move upward. I do not have the kind of money that is needed to invest in Illumina, but if I did, I'll definitely buy at these levels and hold for the long term. Of course, this is my personal opinion, and it's not financial advice. So please do your own due diligence and take it from there. I think we have two simple moving averages: the 50-day and the 200-day moving averages above the current price, and the 9-day and the 20-day simple moving averages are providing support. So we need this shows a whole lot of weakness in Illumina. So there's a good chance that the price will go up further. This is the best price probably in which we could buy Illumina. That's my personal opinion. And also I can see that the momentum is ready to pick up. And overall, if you look at the indices, and let me go into QQQ. So if I look at QQQ, we are at the upper end of this bear channel. And if we manage to break through this bear channel out here, which is another matter of another couple of weeks when we'll be able to test it, I think that once we break out of this bear channel, Illumina is likely to pick up much faster. And even right now, among its peers in genomic sector, I think Illumina is doing way better than the other companies that we have here. So overall, I'm still bullish on Illumina. That, my friends, was my brief thinking out loud regarding Illumina and Grail. I would like to hear your opinion. What do you think is going to happen with Illumina? Should they dispose of Grail? And what if the losses are more than 453 million that are set aside? So I'd be very curious to hear from you. Please put your comments below. And if you like this video, please press a like out there. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.